we were at Drake, and then she chose Iowa, and then we got the job when she was a freshman. You know, we both came over, and you know, we always kidded her like, "You see, you couldn't get away from us." And he told us no at Drake, but we still going to be your coaches. But just a really one of the best ever players, right? All big, helped us win that first big championship. Really, really great coach. Really, all of her stops. She learned a lot of the stops and was so successful at Drake and has done a great job at Oklahoma. So she's considered one of the young and up and comers for sure. So certainly proud of her, and as it always is with the people you've coached or play against, you're always formed until you have to play in that one time.
You've got a lot of Iowa connections in this bracket. I don't know how much you were recruited or how well you know either Sahara or Allie or Audrey or anybody that's going to be down there.
Yeah, no, we did. We recruited, Sahara hard, right? We even recruited Dayton Burholz, but there's just a lot of kids on that roster. I recruited the heck out of Reagan Beers the first time around, and I tried to get her in the portal, right? So, Jenny, there is a lot of crossover, but but Jenny and you know Shannon Gage is on her staff now. Shannon Gage worked for us, so she's great. She's one of our good friends. I think the world of Shannon. Shannon, that connection started. Shannon was a player at Southwest Missouri State, which is now Missouri State. And so we coached against her way back when we were at Drake. So a lot of connections. And I'd like to think if we weren't playing each other, we're usually cheering for each other all the way through the brackets.
Jen, for your first time as head coach going into the tournament, is there kind of a different approach that you're going into this one? Because obviously you've been here a long time, been quite a lot of tournaments, but just with the different role, is there a different approach this time around?
Well, I don't know, a different approach, just how it's been since the exhibition game, just because you're now the one in the hottest seat, right? So that will always be different, but it's different because it's the big dance, right? And it's a true one and done. But as far as how we've done it in the past, I think the formula is relatively, it is what it is in the sense that, you know, you're either Saturday, Monday or Friday, Sunday. So I haven't thought that far ahead exactly how it might differ from what we've done last year. But I think that will be relatively the same, how many days we focus on, you know, Murray State, you give much time on Oklahoma, how much, you know, you got to try to think positively. So I got to iron all that out. But I don't think the approach will change. It's just the feeling's different.
How different will the approach be in terms of just, the last few years you've been a top seed enough to host, or one seed last year, just the difference of being more of an underdog in the first round. Not an underdog for first, obviously, but at least somebody who's got to go on the road, won't get to host first couple rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's, I think it's, the value of just where the women's game is and the value of getting to play at home, right? I mean, I have to do a little study, but usually the people who host make it to that Sweet 16. And we've, been there when it didn't work out, but most of the time it has. There's always that 1% chance. But, I'm just so thankful. When I think back to May when I got this job and was so blessed to get it, if someone would have said, hey, after the conference tournament, you're going to be 22-10 and you're going to have a six seed or higher, I think I'd have taken that bet. With everything that we lost, with everything that these players had to manage. It's one thing when you talk about it, like it's one thing when we all started it, but it's another thing to go through it. And when you're going through it and you're trying to lead, you're trying to be a transfer coming in like Lucy, you're trying to be the kids that have been role players yet started but now be the ones. I mean, managing that and then all the expectations, I believe that this team has won in so many ways already to get to this point. And yes, it would have been fabulous had we could have hosted. And yep, we can all go back and think woulda, coulda, shouldas. But I'd like to look at and see, wow, look what they did. And so I'm just really, really thrilled and thankful that we are here and that we didn't have to really exactly sweat it out if we were in or not. We knew we were.
What are the keys to, with the time off, obviously, with the Big Ten tournament being early? Obviously, you've gone through that a couple of times, but what are the keys to making sure that you approach the time off and make sure that it's a productive time off and you're ready to go when the NCAA tournament comes?
Yeah, I gave them off when we got back from the Big Ten, Saturday and Sunday. We practiced Monday. I only gave them off Thursday. Friday and Saturday. And then they came back pretty refreshed. I felt our practices were great. Now as we head into this, we'll take one day off. But what we did this past week is we worked mostly on us, mostly on the things I thought we needed to improve on. And then I tried to look into the crystal ball in case. I had our staff dig up some Kentucky stuff, dig up some Duke stuff. The Oklahoma stuff, we didn't, I can't remember if they threw that in there or not, but just guessing. But regardless, the actions are going to be similar, right? Whether, you're going to play some shooter that's going to come off ball screens, over under. You're going to play some big at some point. So I think we balanced that really well. And now I don't know much about Murray State. I don't know a whole lot of the intricate details of Oklahoma. Only I watch them and cheered for them because it's Jenny's team. And I know I like their big and I know how fast they play, but all that other stuff, I got to figure that formula out, and thankful I get to.
Jan, folks